Hi folks, my name is Prashant Bhagadikar. I was a part of the Avalanche team expedition.
My name is Subodh Mhaisalkar. I was part of the Avalanche Peak expedition.
Hello everyone, I'm Jayant Kulkarni, otherwise known as Jakku.
This is Sandeep Shah. I was the leader of the Avalanche Peak expedition. Avalanche Peak, the name itself evokes reaction, intimidation, as well as apprehension. The very thing that we wanted to do, that is to climb avalanche, we didn't want to happen as a phenomenon. So this defines a year-long love-hate relationship that began sometime during 1983.
Avalanche Peak was my first real mountaineering expedition to the Himalayas. Before that, in the previous summer, I had done my basic mountaineering course, and then also during those 2 years, we did a lot of hiking and rock climbing in the Sahyadris, as well as in places like Pachmadi and Bangalore.
Our first task was to know where to go. Our ambitions were necessarily modest because none of the members had a great deal of experience of having done expeditions earlier. So the standard trick was to consult people who had a lot of experience. One of the gentlemen whom we visited was Mr. Jagdish Nanavati. He was an old hand and he was very generous with his information, and on his suggestion we decided to pick up Avalanche Peak as our destination.
So starting with fundraising, really right after our choice, the first task we were given was to go raise funds. In some cases, we were successful in getting a check, but in most places, we got food or we got other items in kind. So we got in kind milk-made cans, milk powder, sugar, you name it. I think we went around so many places. One interaction stands out, and I think Shere was with me in that interaction. We went to a place that would supply nylon ropes for mountain climbing. And it took us at least 45 minutes to convince the guy that we were serious. And even as students from IIT, we were keen, we were going to climb Avalanche Peak on an expedition. After 45 minutes of really convincing, the guy really opened up and he more or less gave us most of the ropes we needed for the expedition. That was an amazing experience for me.
Physical fitness. So some chose to run in the mornings, but most of us did weight carrying practice in the evening. It meant filling up a rucksack with books, maybe up to 20 kgs or so, and either going to Temple Hill or Bihar Hill, or just doing up and down in the main building several times.
In terms of what would we have for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner, we had to plan for what kind of food we would have at high altitude camps, because the water would boil too quickly, and not enough heat would be provided at high altitude camps. So our staple diet was really what we grew up with. Maggi noodles were just entering the scene, and surprisingly, Maggi noodles took longer to cook than some of the things that we had traditionally used in mountaineering. So we took a few Maggi noodles, but we relied mainly on khichdi, on upma, on shira, things that we would roast and we would seal in a plastic bag and open it really in a pack.
I think I learned a lot from this first expedition. You know, the simplest things, for example, logistics and how important it is to get that right when you're going on a expedition was probably the biggest lesson for me. The level of detail planning that went into food, equipment, you know, all of the personal gear, porters, you know, raising money, all of these things, really the amount of planning it took was just amazing for me. That was a big learning experience. The other thing was, I think, just on the mountain itself, I think this was the first time I was doing some real mountaineering by myself, and learned a lot. And you know, it's really the simplest things that are the most important. For example, acclimatization. What is a trivial hike in the Sahyadris becomes a huge haul just to get to base camp in the Himalayas. And so the importance of being acclimatized, you know, staying hydrated, all of those things really became very apparent. The other thing about avalanches, I think that was probably what inspired in me this pretty much lifelong love for being in the mountains, enjoying the beauty, enjoying the you know, the solitude, enjoying the camaraderie, all of these things, and you know, also that thrill of having that ever-present risk in the activities that you do. I think those are really addictive, and it's because of the experience at Avalanche that you know, subsequently I did a number of other expeditions and rock climbs and other things. It was great to have the guidance of people like Sandhya and Masha and Shere who had done this before. And I think here also I found two of my absolute best friends, Anand and Girish Sant or Bandya, who's unfortunately no longer with us. But we really did a lot of other activities together, you know, did expeditions together, did the Kokonkada climb, and all of these things and the love of the mountains, I think I would owe to this avalanche expedition.